I have artists that are freelance artists like, I love working at laundry, because we try to get people out at a decent hour. But because we have such a good, healthy environment and everyone really works well together, everybody stays there for a long time. Like I'm like, go home, but they love it there. They love to stay there and create. And so if I see people voluntarily spending a significant amount of time to do great work, I believe that I'm doing my job well in creating that environment that they're attracted to, they're willing to be there and invest that time and make the sacrifices to make great work. I've been doing this a long time, almost 25 years as motion, in motion production. And I will say this, that I've learned, because I've worked at the studios where the leadership and the culture was one of driving people. To me, that's the enemy of creativity. And you're not going to get your best work like that. And I realized a lot of this was through owning my own company, was learning how important it is to take care of your people. And Sir Richard Branson, that's one of his number one tenets, is he takes care of his people. We all work hard and we spend more time with each other than we do with our own loved ones. Like my fiance doesn't see me as much as the people at work sometimes. And so because we're together so much, it's really important to take care of your people. And the way I'm able to do that is to bring together a team that when a new project comes in, I've implemented what's called a feasibility study. I'm really in a lucky position to be working with amazing people where we've got a good reputation and we have a pretty steady stream of work coming in. When you're smaller, you feel like I need to take every job that comes in because, we need the money. I understand that when you're smaller, but we're at a position now, and it's a luxury position where we can evaluate a job to see if it's feasible, not only budget-wise, right, budgetarily, to see does it make sense, can we make it profitable? But look at the scope of work. Then look at the schedule. Do we think we can get it done? But most importantly is, do we have the bandwidth? Will my team be able to do this and be able to give it the laundry best, right? Because our work, there's an expectation of our quality, our production value, and we've got to deliver on that promise. Part of our feasibility is, do we have the staff? Are they ready for it? Can they do it? And we recently had a project come in over the holiday break, over Christmas and New Year's. And we told the client, we can do it, but we have to do it like this, which meant we had to front load the project. And they were expecting people to work through Christmas and New Year's, and we weren't going to do that to our staff. We just couldn't do it. And we just said, hey, we're going to have to pass on this to protect my people so they could have a good Christmas and a New Year's. It just wasn't feasible, So sometimes from a business standpoint, you have to look at, okay, the budget, the schedule, the scope of work, But we also, the fourth consideration for us is, do we have the people to do it, and is it going to tax them? I try to take care of my people, and we only bring in jobs. I have an amazing head of production, Matt Prim, and we're able to look at a job and really analyze it to say, what is the cost? What is the risk? Because sometimes you might have a low budget, but it's great creative. That we're like, we'll put that on the reel and that will get us more work. So we'll make that work for us because there's value in the creative. So sometimes it's, hey, not such a great budget, or sometimes it's a schedule where, it's a longer schedule, we can work on that between projects because it's a smaller budget, But what we do is that intake procedure and process is really important for us to really look at all of the impact of the job before we agree to do it, or before we agree to get involved in a pitch. And we're always thinking about the team. I know a lot of people in this business. I've been in it a long time, and there's companies that they'll take on a job and the client will award them the job. Then they try to figure out how to do it after they get the job. We kind of reverse that process. We're like, how do we do the job? Then we'll accept the job or participate in the pitch or whatever it is. And that's all to defend our people. Because if my people are taxed, we have nothing. Because the people are the artists that are the ones creating. And so I believe I've been able to build a really harmonious culture in our studio, where we have the production team over here, where the head of production and the producers are very buttoned up. And then over here, we have the creatives, and we're buttoned up over here so that they can play in the sandbox and have fun and be their best creative. So we have a pretty creative and a pretty robust IT team that works with the artists to get them what they need. But it depends on the discipline, because as you saw, there's so many different styles of design and animation that we employ. So there are very diverse. That's a little bit out of the side of my area of expertise, but as far as for Cinema 4D and Maya, what's nice about our team is if any artist asks for something or wants to learn something, we offer classes and support that artist to go learn that technique. As I showed in the main title sequence breakdown, we went and watched a class on how to make a main title. Even though we had made so many before for many films, it was just, let's go see what this person has to say about it. You know, so I think the mental plugins are what we employ the most. I took out a bunch of the artists to go build sandcastles. You know, to get off the computer and start to all of a sudden shape and construct something with sand, and you start to see how you can build something. I think sometimes the best plugins are the unplugs, you know, where you get away from the box, you know, and we encourage that. We have outings to the museums, and we go do fun stuff to get people off the screen and away from the keyboard, work a little bit more on unplugging.